Welcome to the StockMatter.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your StockMatter Brian Johnson, making professional trading simple. Welcome to a new week of trading. This week is an options expiration week. I would expect some extra volatility this week, as I always do during options expiration. I will tell you, for any of you that are new, I like to cut back on my position sizes. And I like to be very careful holding overnight, as I was all of last week. I always play my options expirations week this way. You just never know what kind of action you're going to get. Sometimes we get little to nothing. Sometimes we get high volatility. Things have been pretty slow in the market. The market has been slowly grinding its way upwards. And it is getting close to a point where we will have a pullback. We will have a move back down. It does not feel that way. However, I looked over a lot of charts this last week and strongly feel like obviously that point is coming. We know it's coming. We don't know when. Some people have been shaken to the point where they think it's never going to happen, and I can totally understand why. But that point is coming. I think it's coming very soon. I would be surprised if we went all week and didn't have at least a couple of days that were red bars. Especially during options expiration. But very common. We've seen it lately too, that options expiration weeks have had a tendency to run upwards. And Mondays have been particularly strong in the market, so I would be watching Monday to see if we get a little bit more of a push up. The Dow is really kind of the last, bolt in this whole machine that the bulls have been building here for a while. They're waiting for the Dow to finally get back to that 10,700 area or maybe beyond. And I would continue to watch this line here. We now have broken that line and are marching upwards. Now, just because we broke this line does not mean that it is, terribly bearish or anything. It just means we're starting to see a little bit of a waning in the momentum. And I would expect to see maybe a push back up. I would really expect, if it does make it up here, for this line to hold again once it gets up there. And based on time and, candles have to build themselves sideways, would not surprise me to see us touch this line right about the time we're touching that 10,730-ish area on the Dow based on the 60-minute. Watch this coming into Monday. Mondays have been, I'm going to say bullish. Mondays have been bullish. That doesn't mean that they have to go anywhere as long as they hold up here, like last Monday was a 4-point move in the SPX, but that is still bullish because it held up as well as it did. Watch that coming into Monday. I would expect it to be a bullish day, or at least hold itself up for the most part. Here you see the bigger blue line we're watching. This is one of the lines that I can draw on all of the indices right now, and none of them are broken. None of them have been broken yet from a daily standpoint. So watch to see if this thing can get its way right back up into here. Man, I would think that it would slowly climb its way. That's all we've been seeing since this little pullback here. We had a strong move up, little bit of a bull pullback here. A move up, high base, move up, high base, move up, start of a high base. This might even move sideways tomorrow and Monday into this line, and then another push up. That seems to be the MO. Anything can happen at this point, but those are some scenarios I would tell you to keep your eyes open for. Pushes back below 10,500 and ultimately 10,400 are where I'm going to start maybe looking at this more seriously from a bear standpoint. We'll see if that happens. NASDAQ on a 60-minute. 60-minute has been broken, same thing as the Dow. Daily, you can see here putting in a potential topping candle up here, but we've seen topping candles here. None of them have played out. They've all turned into continuation candles. So 1, 2, and then a move up, and then this one here could have been considered a potential reversal and a move up. This one's considered a potential reversal. Maybe sideways motion. We go sideways instead of down. Guess what? You betcha. I'm still bullish on the market. NASDAQ on a weekly, you can see us starting to climb up here. I really don't see any reason why we couldn't at least touch 1960, 1970 on the NASDAQ before finding some overhead resistance on the weekly. SPX 60, breaking this line, retesting it, moving sideways. Still bullish. This looks a lot like the Dow. But as long as it moves sideways and doesn't move down, that is always bullish behavior in this case. It's just keeping price afloat long enough to build some more momentum and push it a little bit higher. Daily, same thing, right up here to a double topping area. Not confirmed by any means yet, and really waiting for a breakdown below this lower blue line. Watch breaks below, 11:30, 11:15ish, somewhere down in here. Then I'll start to get a little bit more serious about our bearish outtake. From a weekly standpoint, doing the same thing, right back up to a double topping area. No confirmation yet, but if it continues to show strength as the NASDAQ has shown, we'll probably see this thing push up and over the 1150 area, and who knows where we're going to end up when this is all said and done. This thing has been an absolute monster. We just have to watch those more major levels of previous support. So 1130-ish, somewhere down 1115-ish, somewhere down in there, I'd start to watch for those levels to be broken before you start taking this, more seriously as a more major move, pullback, whatever you want to call it, to the downside. VIX on a daily. Here we go. Right at a double bottoming area here. Would not surprise me to see this thing maybe start to at least show us a little bit of life down in this area, but that doesn't have to happen on Monday. This thing could bust right down here below 17, maybe go even a little bit lower, then turn in reverse. It could reverse right where it's at. There's many different scenarios. All I care about on the VIX is not so much the technicals of it, but the fact that we are, no fear at all in the markets. You can see what happened the last time we got down to these levels. We kind of putzed around down here for a while before we had a major move. Could very well be what we see on Monday, just a slow dribble down, whatever, for Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe something picks up later on in the week. But all this tells me that there's no fear in the market. Options traders are, if you are an options trader and you're looking to get bearish this market, I'd keep your eye on this very closely, as the VIX can only add to your premiums as it spikes up. VIX on a weekly, you can see it coming down into this lower area here. This is why I'm calling for maybe a little further drop. Maybe we hit this lower green line again. Maybe we hit this blue line again. They're all about the same place at this point. Maybe this is where it finds its turnaround. Maybe. But once again, from a technical aspect, I don't necessarily follow the VIX from a technical aspect. I look at it more of where's the fear. And the fear is pretty much non-existent at this point, and has been now for quite a few weeks. We had this one big spike up here, and from that point on, it's just the fear has come out of the market, just as it did back here. Had a big spike up here, fear just completely drained out of the market for the next umpteen weeks. Same thing here, followed by more fear coming out of the market. Apple on a 60-minute. We'll be watching this one. No reason to change too much on this. Really just watching as it pokes its head up and over these higher levels. Now, if it holds 225, that would be the next support level there. Could have a springboard effect. Do keep in mind that we are putting in a potential reversal candle here. So any hard break back